and answer.
Yeah, I like it when they talk about sound because we really know how much that...
Absolutely,
yeah.
but it's the sound with intent. And so let's go to a meditation and then we'll hear from Cryon. So I invite you to close your eyes so that you can just take this moment for yourself and disconnect with whatever is going on in your world right now. And you can disconnect in this moment from everything else that is happening on the planet. This is your time now to relax in the arms of Spirit and receive a message from Cryon.
Greetings, dear ones. I am Cryon of Magnetic Service. This is the first message of the month, and this one is going to be very different because it's going to be an explanation of a word that I gave almost a year ago. Now, I have revealed this information last month, but not on this particular program, and I'm going to do it again. Every year, we give a word that might describe the year. Now, humans love this. Even though the word given the year before is still active, they want to change it. And so I did. But the word that I changed it to was this. This is the year of recovery. Now, those who look at that scratch their heads and say, I'm looking at the world right now, Cryon, and it doesn't look like we're recovering from anything. In fact, it looks like we're going the opposite direction of recovery. So I will explain this now for all those watching, for all the members of Circle of 12, and for all those interested, of what that meant. Because right now is the critical point on the planet that is actively involved in recovery. Here's what it means. When those in a hospital are in a coma, and at some point in time after a duration in that coma, whatever the time is, and they start to come out, it's very exciting. First of all, there is always the possibility they won't come out. Now, this is a metaphor for humanity. Humanity has always been in a coma of dark energy. Now, you can't doubt that if you're a historian. You just look backwards and you see it very clearly. Human civilization has always been about one thing. You can actually measure the demarcations of what happens with civilizations by the wars they have. And the wars they have seem to be continuous. In other words, nothing is ever learned. Nothing is ever learned from a war. And even though the war is then settled and over, it seems like everyone goes to lunch and comes back and has another war. Now, this has been called human nature. That no matter what, one generation never learns anything that passes to the other generation about war. They just simply do it again. That is a coma. A coma of darkness. Darkness breeds irrationality and dysfunction, and that's where humanity has been. This work that I do has one point to it, one theme. If you ask Cryon, me, what is my work about? It's about the awakening of humans on this planet. It's about the new human being on this planet. I've been here for 30 years and more now. And the message I gave when I arrived was this: you will receive no Armageddon as promised in the years 2000 and beyond, and instead you are headed for something that is unexpected. You're headed for a battle of dark and light. But that battle will actually represent the fulcrum or the turning point between dark and light on the planet. You will awaken from a darkness you've had for eons and develop the highest consciousness the planet has ever had that will eventually result in no war. That's what I said. And that has been the theme of Cryon for all of these decades. And here we are. You are recovering from the coma. Humanity is starting to now awaken from that darkness. And what happens in that awakening is very interesting. There will be those who will come out of that coma, and there will be those who don't. And that is the point. Those who don't have no consciousness of a higher level. There has been a saying that you cannot look up in consciousness. You have to be there and look down. You don't know what you don't know, so you cannot be in one consciousness and imagine being in a higher one. It doesn't work that way. Your consciousness always seems to be accurate, true, and correct, unless you awaken to a higher one. It's like finding out that there was no Santa Claus for those who were children in the culture of my partner. It's seeing something then when you're older and wiser and going, oh, I understand, that was cute and that was fun. But now I'm wiser and older and I move on from here and I see the love in it. So those who do not awaken from this darkness are then invested in that which is their reality, and they want to sustain it. What this means is that there are those who will always want to pull you back to the reality that they used to have, that you used to have while you're in the coma. Have you seen any of them? Are you starting to recognize them? And the difference in this awakening and this recovery is that the world today is not going to go in the direction that it went to before. The idea that one generation does not learn from another is now over. And you're looking at generations who are looking at the past ones and saying, what were you thinking? What were you thinking when you decided to all collectively get together and threaten all of the human beings on the planet with war? And that is starting to make sense to so many individuals that there should be no more, to the extent that most countries today, looking at what's going on, don't want any part of it. They don't want to join an alliance of East and West, or North or South. They don't want to go along the old political lines that their ancestors did, or even their grandfathers did. And you're seeing that today. That most countries that joined before are not joining now. No matter what the wars are, no matter why they are, no matter what the reasoning is of those participating, those around them are trying to help, not join. Dear ones, that is new. This is the human race doing something that was predicted by the ancients. And I have gone to places with you of teaching many times, showing you that the ancients were there, predicting this moment, where a different path was possible, a path that humans never took before, a higher path. And that this is the timing of it, the precession of the equinoxes. So the astronomy of it makes sense, especially to the ancients. I've told you it was coming, when it would be here, and you're in it. Well, for those of you who are fearful of saying what is happening and what will happen next, This is for you. It was expected. It was expected. Now, the ferocity of it, that's what humans have created. How bad it would be, that's the free choice of humans. The sorrow is there. The horror is there. But dear ones, this is what we told you the dark and the light battle would be like. The news that I want to give you, and I have channeled before last month, is this. This may represent the final battles of earth. Not in a negative way, in a positive way. The earth is looking at the atrociousness of what it is, are seeing what your ancestors saw, and the result is never again. We can do better than this. It may take another generation, but light is starting to come. Color is starting to come to a black and white earth in ways perhaps you didn't want. But this is what we said may happen, is that the darkness wants so much to sit upon your light, light worker, to eliminate you. Fear will do it. We've told you that. If you're in fear and worry, your light is covered, and we've told you that. This is the truth of the day. You are recovering from an old energy, from an old time, from an old humanism, and you're awakening from a coma to something that you can now take care of in ways you could not before, because the consciousness of the planet is starting to move. It started to move some time ago. It's slow. It takes generations sometimes. It takes those we talked about years ago when we gave you the information originally on the indigo children. These are new conscious human beings that think differently. It's the beginning, even of those who needed to be here during the shift. For some of you, it is now all making sense. So my plea is this: send love to this planet when it needs it. For those of you in peace right now, take the condition you're in and look at it, wrap it up in a package, and send it to those who are not in peace. Don't make up your mind who deserves it or who should have it. Just send it to all in trouble. Everyone who needs love. And that's why you're here. That's why you may be listening, even to this channel at this time. I'm crying in love with you all. And so it is.
Following that beautiful message from Cryon, I invite you to bring your awareness back into your body. And if you've had your eyes closed, now is the moment to open your eyes, because I'm about to introduce a special guest on the program this evening who is no stranger to Healing Wednesday. And many people have actually written to me giving testimonies of how amazing the body of work is that this gentleman represents. His name is Dr. Bradley Nelson, and I want to make sure he's on the Zoom feed with us. Dr. Bradley, are you there?
I am here.
Yay, wonderful. Well, it is true. We had you on our program and we're delighted to have you back.
I'm excited. Dr. Bradley Nelson is not a stranger either to Monica or myself. Back in 2020.
Oh my gosh, that long.
Happy Wednesday, January 25. Every Wednesday, for those of you who don't know, we're here. Monica and I with special guests, questions and answers, and meditations, discussions, and channeling.
Now, many of you are watching this from the live stream link that you got in your email, but there's some of you, only a few, I'm sure, some of you don't know you have this amazing portal that comes with your membership. It's a great place just for you. And within that, you're going to find many, many episodes. One of the favorite ones of Lee and I was the 100th episode on Healing Wednesday. it was, for us, a really big deal getting to 100, and that's where Lee was actually the guest on the program, and he was able to talk about his experience with Cryon. But did you know there was more to the story? I have shown this a few other times, but I'm going to give it a rest for the next month, but I want you to see the benefits of the portal. Lee continues giving great stories about his beginnings. Now, one of those is called Lee's First Time on TV. It's in the extras of your portal. So maybe it's time to go and review what you get as a member, because there's so much available for you. There's special shows, special music, and one of my favourite sections is the miracle moments, but I'm going to talk about that later. Now, some of you are asking, well, how do I get to the portal? I want to go there. We did this last month, and I'm going to do it again, just so that those who really don't know how to do it can find it, because it really is very easy. First step of 3, go to cryonmasters.com. Here's what that page looks like for this month. Now, sometimes we change the landing page, but what stays the same always is what you're going to do for step 2. In the upper right-hand corner, it says member login. So if you're a Healing Wednesday member, that's what you need to look for. Member login, click on that. See the arrow that we're showing you there? Click on membership login. And then here's the page that's going to appear. Step 3, enter in the details you received when you signed up. And then you click login. It's as simple as that. Voila, there is your portal. And spend some time looking around. It's very intuitive. It's been created by our amazing dream team with Solopreneur. And I can't thank the girls enough for all the hard work they did to do it. You will love it, and wasn't that easy?
Well, if you haven't before, consider joining in the live chat area on Wednesday nights. That's for those of you who are just listening to the replays. I know you do that probably because it's not convenient for Wednesday nights, but if you do, you find just a whole lot of love there and lots of people having fun. I also wanted to tell you all that if you wish to join us up to 15 minutes before the show starts, our studio gives you early video and sound so you can work out any internet issues actually before the show starts. Now, I see the frustration, because I look at the log chats, of those trying to make the sound work and getting help from the chat angels and all and support, even while the interviews are happening. Why be late to try to solve those things when you can come early and simply, be a little early, try it out? That's why I did it. It's for all of you, and usually the chat help is there to help you at that time. So, and we do this so the streaming experience will be without hassles, or as many hassles. But remember, if there are any unsolvable technical issues in streaming, sometimes there are, there's a perfect replay right after the program.
Now, I'd like to move into the question and answers part of the program. You can submit your question within the portal. You can also go to cryonmasters.com/questions. The guidelines are super easy. Ask a question you think others may benefit from. Keep them short and concise. And finally, Leah and I are not therapists. We only can give you the information that we've received from Cryon. Question from Heather. Heather is in New Mexico in the US. And Heather says, Cryon has talked about releasing fears and blocks that no longer serve us. There is one that I can't seem to remove. It feels like it's blocking manifestation of abundance and keeping me from living my best life. And here is the block. Be careful what you wish for. So I'm asking for any advice that you may have to remove or work around this block.
Well, Heather, I think we have all heard that phrase. I can tell why you'd like to get rid of it, because that didn't come from a benevolent spiritual knowledge base. That phrase is something people say, even though they have no idea what we teach or how any of this might actually work. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is that statement itself is incorrect. That helps you to know that you can get rid of it. It comes from a fear-based consciousness. Be careful what you wish for. It's a warning, isn't it? It's not a kind premise. That statement means that you might be in trouble if you wished for the wrong thing, or worse, if you wish for something stupid and you'll pay the price. We don't teach that. I'd love you to write that phrase down on a piece of paper and burn it. And that's what you asked for. How do we get rid of these things? That's one of the things we do. In other words, that statement does not belong to you. We teach that we can create benevolent things. There's not things to be careful of or to worry about. We teach this or something better for me is the way we approach it. All manifestations, this or something better for me. Spirit will not give you a snake when you ask for an apple. Spirit loves you, and you will be given things that bless your life. Occasionally, you'll be taken through things that are difficult, but they're always resolved, and the reasoning for it is then very apparent later. I think we have all had things happen that helped us to move from like A to B when we weren't ready for them. Then later we realized what a blessing it was and how much we received and how much love we got from it. The best way to solve this fear is to claim the opposite. Dear Spirit, bring me the things that will benefit my life and will represent the love that I have for you. Dear Spirit, I'm ready for that which I do not expect, but that I will never fear. I won't fear them, since they are created with a partnership I have with a loving God and my very soul. Dear Spirit, I know that everything I manifest will be covered in love and appropriateness, and I will never have to be careful what I wish for. For I have a partner in God who loves me beyond anything I could know.
I love that answer, Lee, and I want to add my own version of maybe reframing that, be careful what you wish for. And like this is my fun part coming out, where I want to say, be outrageous in what you wish for. I mean, why not? Why not? Why not be so completely outrageous in what you wish for and treat it like a fun game? What is going to come my way? I love that. So now I'd like to take another question. This is from Lisa, and Lisa is in Missouri in the US. Lisa says, when Cryon refers to the listeners as old soul or light worker, I often find myself wondering if these titles are for just a few people like me who tune into the messages like these, or is every person on the planet also considered an old soul or light worker and they just don't know it yet? If everyone is an old soul, then will everyone eventually wake up and realize it? My family is amazing, but I'm waiting for them to stop looking at me so strangely. Laugh out loud.
Hi, Lisa. I've answered this question before, but I want to update it now so that you have a better understanding of what Cryon's information actually is and some of the newer energies that we're actually experiencing right now on the planet. Our many lifetimes on Earth are like some kind of karmic school for our souls. The more lifetimes you've had, the wiser you become as you arrive the next time and the next time and the next time. This creates a pool of returning souls, many of whom are very experienced, some who are less experienced. It creates the old souls and light workers that Cryon speaks about, but there's actually more. There's also a new awakening happening where souls that are not quite as experienced are starting to learn faster. That's because of this new energy. We can see this within the numbers of people who are interested in these metaphysical things, like these programs that we're doing, that never were before. So, a few of the things you mentioned are a little different from what you stated. First, there are millions of old souls, not just a few. But if you found your niche, by being here, actually, if you found your niche, for those here watching, these few, but there's a whole lot of more souls these days that are old. And the second thing that I'd like to tell you is that not everybody is an old soul. So we are here as way showers to those who are not old souls yet, to those around us. Ready? Including your family. The oldest souls are the most wise and have anticipated the shift we're in. I think for the first time in human history, there's an energy here of greater acceptance of what we teach and how we act. Even those who really would rather distance themselves from things that we teach spiritually still enjoy being around us, since they think we're a little more tolerant and kinder than most. I can't tell you the number of times we have heard from hotel management after a Cryon seminar or a tour They told us that we were the kindest group of people that they'd ever experienced. It happens continuously all the time. And this is what is contagious with so many people these days. They like it. They understand that we don't expect them to be or do anything. We just love them. This attitude is not evangelical. We just want to spread love, understanding, kindness, without a doctrine or a membership or a master to worship. So one of your comments here is that I love. I'll quote you. Is every person on this planet also considered an old soul or light worker, and they just don't know it yet? Basically, yes. But now souls do not have to go through lifetime after lifetime for this old soul status. This is starting to change. They're starting to awaken to a grander truth while they're here because of us and have the same wisdom as a master. That's what differentiates the energy of 30 years ago compared to today. Many are starting to understand this grander truth. Your family won't look at you strangely forever. Just show them love, tolerance, and kindness, and eventually they won't care what you're into. They'll just silently understand that somehow you received wisdom and it fits you very well, and they'll love to be around you.
Great answer, Lee. And I want to do one more question. This question comes from Allegra, and Allegra's in Italy. When we stand in the circle of 12 and receive healing from the healing masters, can we ask for healing for someone else instead? Does it work in the same way? Every week, I have only been asking healing for my child instead of that for myself as I was standing in the amphitheatre, as that is my highest wish, that a miracle would heal my child's autoimmune disease.
Allegra, you are in the right place at the right time. The first most important thing I'm going to do right now is to address your child's autoimmune disease. Did you know that just a few weeks ago, we had a doctor who cured herself completely on this show, completely, of lupus, and has gone on to address how to do this with almost any autoimmune disease. She and her husband, another medical doctor, have come up with how to do it, and they don't sell it. They give the information away. It's a heartwarming, miraculous story, and the entire reason we do Healing Wednesdays. So listen up. Please go to your portal and find the replay of our show, November 2nd, 2022. It's not that long ago. The guest is Dr. Brooke Goldner. Dr. Brooke Goldner. That's November 2nd, 2 months ago. This could be the answer to your healing request in these Circle of 12 meditations, and the reason we selected your question. Number 2, never ask anyone to be healed instead of you, ever. Ask for them to be healed because of you. You know, this is programmed. This is almost like we're sacrificing ourselves. Let your healing be so complete that we also benefit from your energy of love and support, and they will also receive a healing. Allegra, I would not tell you this unless I had seen this exact same thing with my own eyes many times. I'd love to see 2 miracles here for you, Allegra, you and your child. We love you. Thank you.
I love that answer, that instead of having someone be healed instead of you, they be healed because of you. That, for me, shifts everything completely. And why not have 2 miracles instead of 1? In fact,